There we go.
We go next track.
1, 2, intro, 2, 3, 4.
This track is 6 BPM slower than the previous one, so I have to make a conscious effort to lean back a bit with my tempo interpretation. Pretty much the verse and the pre-chorus and the first part of the chorus, there's no snare drum. But there are some kick dropouts which are very hip in the dance kind of scene. This track has a very dancey feel, obviously. So I'll be focused to remember where exactly all of those kick dropouts need to happen. There's one coming up.
Chorus.
Second half of the chorus has a bit of a snare pattern going, and I've tried it a few different ways. Best way for me to achieve this is with both hands, playing an alternating pattern. And then there's a very specific fill here. The second time round, there's actually a triplet at the end of that fill, which, if I remember correctly, I actually missed, and I had to kind of make peace with it and just move on. I sometimes get confused with this verse. There shouldn't be a snare drum, and I need to make a conscious effort to always remember verse 2 doesn't have a snare drum. And then pre-chorus we add it back. It just lifts everything nicely in increments. 16th bass pattern. I sometimes forget that and I want to just go to an offbeat open hi-hat thing, but no, my notes say play 16ths on the hi-hat. Here's that fill that I missed. You can hear a slight discrepancy between the fill and the track, but hey, I guess that's not the end of the world. You would have seen me adjusting a bit of a snare strainer there. Most likely, yes, I'm bugged with the amount of sustain that I'm getting out of the snare. I wanted a bit slower, so I tighten up those snare wires so that the snare has a quicker attack. This build-up can also be very tricky. Coordination is a bit tricky. There's a very particular fill at the end of this instrumental, and I was very focused to try and get it tight because it's a kind of a feature of that section, so you don't want to mess it up. So now in this third chorus, I'm supposed to just play through with the groove, and I actually remembered it's different from the rest of the choruses. So this track also ends just with a big crash at the end, and I try not to make too much of a rit because it fights with the track, although there was a little bit of a rit there. Okay, ready for the next track? I'll know what the next track is by now. I need to know because otherwise I'm not prepared when it starts.
Next track.